welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to help you find your laser focus. Put this list together while I was preparing for my daughter's 2-hour rehearsal where I'm going to be away from home but have nothing to do and have 2 hours when I can really focus. And I was thinking about what I will do to make the most of that time. The first thing I will do to make sure that I have a productive time period is to gather my supplies ahead of time. That may be digital supplies, so I will make sure I have all my fonts installed, my clip art is downloaded if I'm going to be doing designs. I may need to reinstall some apps. I will make sure everything is updated so that I don't have to sit around and wait for something to happen in order to be able to start my work. Everything will be loaded onto my computer and ready to go. If I need physical supplies, I'll make sure I have those with me. I will definitely have my little planner with me, which is looking like a hot mess because I've been doing some design work and I just dump out whatever's in my brain onto this paper and it eventually looks much prettier than this. Tip number 2, remove distractions. I deal with 2 different kinds of distractions. One, I'm pointing at my washing machine right there. That's the physical things that happen in my house because I work from home. It can be good to just go somewhere else and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I do not want to be doing multitasking where I am trying to be super productive and then the washing machine is letting me know that it's time to put clothes in the dryer. That's not what super productive time is for. Yes, the washing machine runs while I'm packing my envelopes and things like that I can easily be interrupted from and then go back to it. But when I want some really uninterrupted time, I do not have any background processes going on. I know the kids are not going to need me for this time period. And then the biggest one is the digital distractions, which is to make sure that my phone is not going to notify me about anything. I have gotten very good in the past year or so about removing all the notifications from my phone, just every app. No, you may not notify me. I will come find you if I need you. And the things where I do need to keep a notification, I turn the sound off so that I will at least be looking at my phone. And you really also, even if you get a message, don't think you have to deal with it right away unless it actually is on fire. So if I can't, I did used to have a yoga class that I used to go to, and sometimes I would go to the library afterwards, and since my phone was off during the yoga class, I would keep my phone off for 2 hours, and that was like, oh my gosh, crazy productive. Maybe I'll try that. I have this time period on Saturday. I think I'm going to try that. Number 3 is to dedicate time to be completely focused. I've used the Pomodoro method where you have 25 minutes of working, a 5-minute break, 25-minute working. There's a definite cycle that you do. There's an app called Tomato Timer that will just outline it for you. I love that because it's too easy to start working. Oh, I'll just check my email. And then you don't know, you're half working, you're half not working. It's so nice to use a method like that where you're just focusing when you're focusing. And you know, I can focus for 25 minutes and then I'm gonna get a break. And sometimes my hardest thing is actually taking the breaks, but I love the Pomodoro method. And I love the Tomato Timer app. I think I will link what I can figure out how to link below. Number 4 is to seek out your optimal level of background activity. Different people are different in this regard. Some people love to be in complete silence. Others really kind of enjoy. I kind of personally enjoy working in a place like Starbucks or somewhere where other people are working is helpful. You kind of feed off the energy of all that and it helps me stay focused. If I'm in a completely silent room, I can feel creeped out. My daughter, actually, her rehearsal is in a place where I have access to a lounge where people are completely and creepily silent, and it is weird to be around other people that are this silent. And then there'll be like lessons going on in the background, which I can drown out with headphones, which we're about to talk about in a minute. But I find myself wasting time just kind of looking around going, is this okay? It's so creepy in here. For tomorrow's productivity period, I've decided that rather than pay $6 to park and go sit in the creepy silent room, I'm going to drop my daughter off, go to Starbucks, which is about a 10-minute drive, but once I get there, I will be super productive. And bonus, I will spend less on the tea than I do on the parking. So that'll work out. Try different things, find your optimal level of background activity. Number 5 is to choose your soundtrack carefully. I have a particular album that I like to listen to. It is called the Goat Rodeo Sessions. Yo-Yo Ma got together with some bluegrass musicians and they just jammed out and put together this album. And for whatever reason, it has just the right level of being energetic enough, but not distracting to me, that it just hits me in an absolute sweet spot. And it is completely my association of like, I'm gonna work and focus. I think there's a Ray Chen album that I'm going to possibly incorporate because I drive my children crazy listening to the same Yo-Yo Ma album over and over again. So I will link those both below. Whatever works for you is fine. I would suggest possibly staying away from vocal music. For me in particular, I find that I listen to the words too much. At home, I definitely need music. When I'm working away from home, sometimes a podcast is okay. It can't be one that I'm like dying to listen to, but a podcast can actually work for me. I can work depending on what type of work I'm doing. Although one thing I need to do tomorrow is write descriptions, so I definitely don't want to be writing and having words coming into my head. Or I'm going to start writing those words instead of the words that I mean to write. I hope I've given you some ideas. I hope I've given you some ideas to increase your own productivity. In the month of September, I've been uploading a video every Friday about time management. After this week, I'm going to be putting that little series on pause because I'm going to be focusing a little more on my Etsy shop. I will be sharing some of that process with you. I don't know if it will be every week. There's lots that I want to share and lots that I want to say, but I do want to make sure that I have enough time to really take advantage of the Christmas season and get my shop where I want it to be. I will definitely be keeping up with the Sunday fashion videos. For me, that's been the easiest and most fun, and I love food videos, so Wednesdays should stay. That's been a little more of a challenge just time-wise. I've also been walking a ton of dogs, which is great and fun. It does limit the amount of time that I have to make videos. One day this week, I walked 20,000 steps. Well, that's a little crazy. I will definitely see you twice a week, and as possible, I will see you on Fridays for some talk about my Etsy shop. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to see you again, so click subscribe below. See you Sunday. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips for focus. 5 tips for focus? Do not say 5 tips for focus. Yuck.